great content in 140 characters. So first we'll start off with companies using great content in 140 characters. Out of 200 companies, the first reason why they decided to go with Twitter is because of branding and awareness. So obviously to promote their brand and make themselves more aware all throughout Twitter. So 84% of companies said that. Second was networking, so to build upon their network, and 78% of them said that. Third was community building, so to build a community amongst all their followers, 77%. Fourth was brand reputation management, so to make sure they have a reputable brand that no one is saying any bad things about them, and that was 51%. Fifth was customer service, so to help out any customers that had any problems with any of their products or brand, and that was 44%. Sixth was prospecting, so to pinpoint individuals that they believe would be most beneficial to their brand, which was 30%, and then finally selling, which was 20%, so online and offline sales. And Twitter account management. So how you can get great content is through TweetDeck. So it helps sort your tweets into direct messages, keywords, and topics. And then finally Hootsuite, which is beneficial for scheduling your tweets and switching back and forth between accounts. And then there's CoTweet. So that's really beneficial for businesses because it allows multiple users to sign on to their Twitter multiple people to use the same Twitter account. And for a case study, one company that really used Twitter to their benefit is Koji Korean Barbecue. So they're a mobile chip truck in LA that sells tacos, and they're successful, but their problem was no one knew exactly where they were every night because they switched locations every night. They didn't know how to solve that problem until they started using Twitter. So what they did is they started tweeting their location every single night. And at first they started off with about 100 people per night, and once they started tweeting, they went up to 800 people per night. People were waiting for them before they even got to the location they said they were going to be that night. They now have 22,000 followers. And Mike Prasad, who is the brand and social media director of Koji Korean Barbecue, said, "Twitter helps us keep in touch with our audience so we can always give them what they want, keeps us connected with our customers at all times." And for contact management and directories, friendorfollow.com is really beneficial because it sees not only who's actually following you, who you are following, but who is following you back. This is great for businesses because they know exactly who is following them. Also, Twitoria, so who's actively following them. So, if they've been on Twitter in the past week, in the past 2 weeks, in the past few months. And wefollow.com, you get to program exactly what hashtag if people type in a certain hashtag in their search engine, if your name pops up. So you can choose to be under marketing, measurement, and social media. Twello, which is like Yellow Pages for Twitter, and Just Tweet It, so it lets you know new additions in your industry. Another case study that is beneficial for giving out great content is Dell. Dell computers, they get a massive inventory in 2 times a year that has either scratched hardware, refurbished computers, or return deliveries, and they had no idea what to do with any of it. So what they did is they started their own Twitter account where they actually tweeted if they had any extra computers. And for example, one of their tweets was 30% off any outlet XPS 1 all-in-one PC. They even gave an expiry date to create more of a demand for their products. And all people had to do was sign up at that website, and they now have over 500,000 followers. And their revenue also doubled within 6 months of having their Twitter account. So I talked about how it's important for businesses to have great content and how it's beneficial for them. But now for you guys to have great content, how it's beneficial for you. How it's effective for you guys is you have to make sure that every character counts. You have to use strong words and use minimal words. Don't put 2 words when you can only write 1. Avoid using university words, so try and keep it simple, keep it short. Don't break your thoughts into 2 posts, because if you have a really long tweet and you do 2 tweets, it might not show up right after another because someone else might tweet in between. Also, spill it all out and then shrink. So it's really hard to sometimes shorten your tweet into 140 characters. So just write what you want to say and then look back at the words you can cut out and how you can shorten it to make it more beneficial for what you're trying to say. Also, cut that and which. Those are important words that you can just leave out. Eliminate pronouns. So instead of saying, for example, I am going to the Apple Store, you can say just going to the Apple Store. Use punctuation. If you leave out punctuation, your sentences can sometimes get very confusing. You have to be personal and get to the point. It's important to really use short and simple sentences. And how you can find great content to possibly retweet in your tweets is Chirps. That's a Twitter account that they tweet constantly the hottest tweets, as well as Favestar. So that's who is actually favoring your tweets. You can get access to that. And Tweet Me. So it just shows you the hottest links and a direct connection to who's actually tweeting them. And content. It is really important that the content in your tweets has to be findable. So people have to know where to look for it. It has to be accessible, so easily accessible. It has to be understandable, so people know what you're trying to say. You must have an audience, and it must be timely. You have to know when to tweet, when it's the most effective for you. And as well, you have to be identified. You need to show yourself when you tweet so people know whose tweet they're actually reading. And what to tweet about. You can share links concerning your industry or profession. You can comment on hot topics. You can share, so retweet other people's tweets, and ask questions. And always remember that you are what you tweet. And thank you.